We set off to build the expedition vehicle of my dreams from the ground up with a $30,000 budget. We documented every aspect of the build from the design process to all the hardships along the way. To be honest, this was one of the most challenging projects of my entire life, but the final product exceeded my wildest dreams. Watch as we build an incredible vehicle for Season 3 of the Tiny Home Adventure series. This is the MUSEROAMER project. Hey, what's up everybody? My name's Andrew Muse. This is my incredible girlfriend Ashley and my adventure dog Kicker, who's smelling the breeze. We just spent the last year building this crazy adventure vehicle. What I thought was gonna take about 2 months of 16-hour days, 7 days a week, turned into over a year of some of the hardest work of my entire life. Before people pass judgment, as they do on social media, I want you to know that I've worked for absolutely everything that I have. I don't come from any family money or unfair advantage. I'm just willing to work my butt off, and thankfully I had a handful of incredibly intelligent friends that saw the vision and that were willing to donate their time to help bring this dream to life. I've also spent the last few years developing relationships with industry-leading brands to help offset some costs to make this possible. So thanks for following along. Let's start from the beginning. Woo! Good? Okay, let's walk towards the camera. Let's do a date. So, Kicker and I are getting ready to set off for another epic adventure. We've done an Astro van, we've done a Volkswagen Golf, a truck camper, and a badass 4x4 van. But really, we're trying to do something for an extended period of time. And the only thing that can really make sense to me is an earth roamer. Unfortunately, I don't have $500,000, so we're gonna convert this F550 that I bought for $13 into an earth roamer for under $30,000. That's at least the goal, so let's see how this goes. Woo! Doing most of the work here at my buddy Josh's shop. Josh has been one of my climbing mentors, one of my best friends for the last 10 years. We've done a bunch of crazy adventures. He's kind enough to lend his incredible skill set and awesome shop to get the work done. Yep. Building an earth roamer.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a good one. Hell yeah. And then Kicker's here for moral support. So the plan today is to take this giant tool bed off with this Tommy gate, which is like a hydraulic bed here. But it's gonna be super, super heavy. So we're gonna have to combine some tools and some thoughts and some leverage and somehow take this thing off and put it somewhere out of the way and hopefully sell it.
Oh yeah. You're so good at that.
Oh, you like it? So we've got all the bolts removed from the frame connecting the bed to the truck. This could be very interesting. Got my good friends Kevin and Josh helping out. Mark is gonna help us design the thing. Kick the dog, tied up out of the way, super safe and happy. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. It's really awesome having friends that are way smarter than you, yeah, right, and way better at things. So today's been a crazy day. We had to do a bunch of crazy logistics. I sold the bumper off the F550. We've got a forklift we had to rent because the tractor's in the shop. But it sounds like we're selling the Tommy gate today, which is great. Make a little extra money back into the project.
You okay?
Yep. I showed my friend Mark, who also happens to be an engineer, my extensive and totally legit blueprint for the build that I had made in Photoshop. He kind of laughed, patted me on the head, and said, "Let me help you out." My original plan was to build it out of wood and steel, but Mark wanted to do it out of fiberglass so it would be lighter and stronger. So he designed a shell. We found a manufacturer in Wyoming who claimed he could do it for pretty cheap in about 3 weeks. So, I wish there were words to describe how overwhelmingly frustrated I am. The fiberglass guy is 3 months behind schedule, not even close to being done. He didn't think we were gonna have a floor in it, and we were supposed to pick it up today. My dad flies in Monday, and the whole reason why I was bringing him in was so we could work on this together. He wasn't around for 20 years. We've been working to rehab our relationship and I wanted us to have like a meaningful objective to work together. Like, to be honest, I don't want to hang out with this guy for 11 days just hanging out. Like, I don't have time for that. I've got so much on my plate. I wanted us to be working together, being productive together, and this fiberglass guy for the last 3 months has told me a week, 2 weeks, a week, tomorrow, this, that, and it's like beyond frustrating. Ashley and I just got in a fight, and I am just having a really, really tough day right now, so.
Like, I literally just want to, like, scream at this guy and get it through his head, like, how fucking stupid he is, and, like, how unprofessional and how he doesn't deserve to have a business if this is what he's going to do to people. I just hate that, like, I can't help, and there's nothing that I can do.
So we're just getting to my buddy Mark's house. He's an engineer, incredibly talented guy. Hopefully we can brainstorm and come up with something that's an alternative to just being stuck, waiting, frustrated, because I'm so freaking sick and tired of it. After reviewing our options, we reverted to a more traditional construction method based on availability, budget, and our timeline. Dang, that's so freaking cool. All right, so today is the day. We are heading to Salt Lake City to pick up my dad, who I've not had a meaningful experience with in 20 years. That's gonna be super heavy, and we're gonna start to break ground on this shell.
I'm looking forward to getting this thing moving and not being at a standstill.
Yeah, we have been on the hook for the last 4 months with nothing to show for it, so it's really crunch time now. Woo. See how it goes. Kind of nervous to pick up my dad. So the backstory on my father, Gary, is that when I was 8 years old, he fell off the face of the earth. 20 years went by without knowing if he was alive or dead until recently. He's been working on putting his life back together so we could try to have some sort of meaningful experience together and hopefully learn more about his story and create the start of a meaningful relationship. He apparently used to be a talented carpenter, so I hoped this project would set him up for success. But there was definitely a lot of baggage. I got the team together and we all agreed on a plan of attack. All right, so we spent the whole day grabbing materials. We've got all our foam board. We got some steel for the frame, and we're using this HDO board. Basically, we're gonna laminate those panels. So HDO foam, HDO, contact cement, and laminate them together, which should give us the shear strength we need for these panels to build this insulated box out of. We just spent a bunch of money on like the nicest plywood we could get, and it's completely delaminating. Every single piece of this stuff is garbage. So that's not gonna work for us. All right, so our first method didn't work. So we're back to square one. We're gonna use different construction adhesive, a different technique, and hopefully we can bust out all of the panels in the next like 4 or 5 hours before it gets too dark and cold, which it's already pretty dark and cold. So we have pretty much been at a standstill the last 2 days. Our construction method at first didn't work. We used some stuff yesterday that I don't think worked. 2 days down the drain. We still haven't found a construction adhesive that will work, and I'm about to lose it. I had a small incident with Siri this morning. I'm sorry, Siri. I didn't mean what I said. After like 3 days of headaches trying to find the right materials, the right glue to make this work, we finally got a system. We're using great stuff to glue the panels together, and then we're drilling everything to sandwich everything together to keep it tight. All of these boards are offset and in different arrangements on the opposite side, so when it comes up, there won't be any matching seams on the opposite side. So everything's offset. It should come together really nicely from here on out. Fingers crossed. Woo! All right, that was sweet. We were able to bust out both of our side panels and our back panel here in just a few hours after spending 3 days not being able to do shit. Super frustrating, but we're stoked. It's coming together. We're really happy with the way this is laying up, so we'll see how it does in the field. Finally, after some serious trial and error, Gary and I cut the panels to length with a beam saw inset some 2x2 steel tubing for mounting purposes, while Josh busted out the inner steel frame.
Good boy.
So we've got the baseline frame done. We're about to wheel it in and mount one of the sidewalls to it. Woo! So that wraps up episode 1 of the MUSEROAMER project. Next time, things really start to come together. We say goodbye to Gary after some fiberglass work. The rest of the panels come together. The windows and doors get cut out. We do some Bondo work. I managed to send myself to the hospital with an unsuspecting tool, and the F550 undergoes a major transformation. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to keep up with our most recent adventures, make sure to follow us on Instagram. Massive thank you to the friends and brands who made this dream possible. If you have any questions, we would love to answer them. If you found this at all entertaining or informative, we would love it if you could please share and subscribe. Next episode drops Sunday. Thanks for watching.